I'm sure you want your puppet to move more naturally. This video is for you. In this video, you'll be able to learn the process to make shoulder movement for your character. This would actually make a huge difference. Just keep watching. Hello everyone, welcome to 2 and 3D. So we are going to be adding shoulder movement. Initially when I started out, this was one of the hardest things to actually add. Initially I had to be adding it manually using cycle triggers, but with this tutorial you'll be able to learn an easy method of doing this. So as you can see, as she's moving her arms, the shoulders are supposed to move. It's not supposed to stay stationary, and this will actually make your puppet to have a more natural movement. So let's jump into it. You go into the rig panel and I'll show you what I actually did there. So as you can see, I separated the shoulder. It's behind the character, so I separated the shoulder from the entire character, and then I made it independent, and then I added draggables to where I want to manipulate. So like I want to manipulate to the left and the right, and then I want the middle to be fixed, and that is why I added those. And as you can see, those are fixed. And then the arms, I added a transform behavior to it. So every arm, your arm B, your arm A, you add all the arms that you have on your character. I know it might not be labeled arm A, it might be labeled hand or whatever you named it. So you make sure you add a transform behavior, and this will enable you to be able to manipulate, to move, use keys to move those particular arms. And now let's go into our rig panel. I've already done that of arm A, so I'm just going to be working on arm B. And now let's start. So all I need to do is select our puppet and then come to our behavior panel there, and then manipulate that. So you come to your behavior and then you come to the transform area, and then let's just add a key to our transform, not position X. You add it on position Y because you want it to move horizontally, right? Yes, horizontally. You want it to move up and then downwards, up and down. So you add a key to your position Y at first. Make sure it's 0. That's the default position. When you add that, in my own case I have 2 and B, which is why you can see the other keys I'm adding. So you move to maybe like three keyframes, move forward three steps forward, and then you add another keyframe, and this time you make it -7. In your own case it might be actually different. I don't know my own puppet, because it's based on the size, the pixels and stuff like that. So in my own case I'm just making it -7 on the y-axis, and now if you notice it has moved. So now I will use that. Now I'm using that draggable around the shoulder area. I'll move it to align it, to make sure it's aligned at like that same area. So now when you align it, you now Control 2. When you press Control 2, you add two keys. So you add 2 keys, and then now you just make it to be linear at the front. Like at the beginning it should be linear. It should sort of like just like the way you are seeing it on the screen right now. So, and that is all basically. Make sure it's three frames. This should be a 3 frames animation. You could make it more than that if you want, but in my own case I just made it 3 frames. So now these keys, you could actually make this into a trigger directly, but it's not advisable. I would say you should convert it into a keyframe. Convert both into a keyframe, and then you select both the transform keyframes and the draggable keyframe that we just added. And then when you join, we select both of them, and then you add it as a trigger. You add it as a trigger. So now I'm about to add it as a trigger. So well, I'm actually moving too fast, considering that I'm recording this. Like I've already finished recording the screen, and then now I'm just recording audio over it. So well, that's not what I did actually. I actually made a mistake, and that was why I had to go back to it. But just follow exactly what I've said. What I've said is exactly what you need to do. Just convert your keyframes to the keys that you added. You convert it into keyframes, and then now you select both the transform keyframes and the draggable keyframes that you just manipulated, and then boom, you add in you add it as a trigger. As you can see, this is actually perfect. It's not well, is well before, just make sure after doing that you make sure you remove all the keyframes that you added manually, all those keyframes, because they will still be there. Just make sure you remove those, because it will actually make the character, it will make it impossible for you to actually know that you're doing this right. So make sure after doing this, after adding it as a cycle, after adding it as a keyframe, sorry, as a trigger, and after that you can configure it to a key on your keyboard, which would make your work way easier. Like right now I configured it to Z and X, Z for the arm A and then X for the arm B, and then you could combine while your character is talking. You could actually, when you want the hand to move in cycles, you could actually just combine both of them, and boom, you have the shoulder movement. And as you can see, the movement is way more natural. I wish I actually recorded this the first take without actually adding any of these shoulder movement, and then so you'll be able to see how natural this is actually looking right now. So thank you for watching. Please give us a like, give us a sub. It will really help us to reach more people, and it's also supposed to reach you more contents like this in the future. Thank you, and bye for now.